Welcome to Legacy and Drive, where I like to focus on three areas of interest. First one is creating wealth. Second one is fitness. Third one is cars. Legacy and Drive. Well, legacy relates to creating a legacy, building wealth. Relating more to life insurance is what I do. I'm a financial planner. Drive, that relates to having drive in life, creating wealth. Being driven with fitness and also with cars. And so today's video is going to focus on cars. I'm going to talk about the journey of how I got to this current car I have, which is a 2023 Porsche Macan GTS. I'm going to go back and start to a car I had back in 2012, and then how the cars I had through there, leading up through those years up to this point. I've made some notes too to make this video a little smoother, so here we go. Back in 2012, I had a Hyundai Veloster. Bought it brand new, Veloster Turbo, which I thought was a pretty cool car. It was like a concrete grayish color, which was just starting to become popular. And I got it right around when it was a 2012, but I got it in 2013, and my son was just recently born. So the thing I liked about it was I was still able to tickle that urge of a little sportiness, but also have a little practicality because it was a hatch, and also I had a third back door, so I could fit the car seat back there for my son, and it was good there for a while. And I had that car for until 2022, so a good 9 years. No problems with it. The only thing I had was a light sensor would come on for the engine, but the engine was fine. They just couldn't fix the light sensor from coming on. They replaced it, but it was really a non-issue. But yeah, great car, cheap to manage, maintenance on it and all that stuff. But around 2022, my son was getting a lot bigger and decided we need to get something bigger. So we went to a 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness. First time owning a Subaru. Got the geyser blue color. It was awesome. The Wilderness with the gold trim. And good car. We were moving houses there. So the back seats would fold down and you could fit so much stuff in there. It was great. But the only issue with it, or a big issue, was I upgraded to a Harman Kardon sound system, which I think they installed at the dealership. Not sure, but anyways, when I got the car, I bought it brand new. It had this tremendous rattle near the wheel area, and took it back twice. First time they said the dealership in Oakville they said they couldn't hear it, so I had to go back in and do a ride along with the tech. He did say he acknowledged he heard it when I was with him. They worked on it, and then they said, yeah, we think we got it. And then I got it back, still there. So it was driving me crazy. I'm pretty lenient with cars, but I like them, and I want them to be right. And this I was like, I'm not gonna live with this rattle. So I had the car, I don't know how long. I had it 6 to 8 months, and then I started looking elsewhere for something new. So the next vehicle I stumbled upon was a 2022 Jeep 4xe, the new hybrid. And it was getting a lot of buzz at the time. I always thought Jeeps were kind of cool. Maybe not the most practical, but come on, they were cool and fun. And gas prices at the time were very high. And I liked the idea of hybrid or even going purely electric for like 20 or 30 kilometers. So did a bunch of upgrades on it, went from 33 to 35 tires, put a lift on it, other little accessories. It was black tint, it was a Rubicon, and I loved it. It got new rims, a lot of fun, but the recalls, and I was on a lot of Jeep vlogs on YouTube, and people were just having issue after issue, and it got to a point where I noticed not to plug in the car or park it near your house because their Jeep could catch on fire. So that was a big, I don't know about this one. And also, I live about 30 or I work about 30 kilometers from home, and I'd be lucky to make it to work on one charge, driving very, very conservatively. So the whole hybrid electric thing, unless you're just driving around town, it was really poor. So I saw the writing on the wall and looked at trading that one in probably after a year and a half. And I'm glad I did, because I kind of still watch what happens with the Jeep 4xe, and there was just another major recall for, I think, all Jeeps, including the 4xe. And that was like a power steering failure that could cause a fire. I was like, it's ridiculous. I don't understand how a car model like a Jeep could be around for decades and their quality is so poor. They've had so many years, and this includes the gas Jeeps, so many years to perfect it. And if they had it up and running very good quality, I think it would just be like even greater success. I mean, it's very popular, but the quality's garbage. And I think it's a missed opportunity by them. Stellantis, the European company, owns it, and it's almost like they want it. They just disregard it, which is, I think, a huge mistake, because it's a huge pillar in their financial strength, Stellantis. Jeep is a big brand, Dodge, all that stuff, and they've kind of just kicked it to the curb. So that was unfortunate. So I traded that in and got a 2025 Mini Countryman John Cooper Works. So 4 doors, a little more space, kind of like the Outback was, but a lot sportier. Great car. Bought that one, it was a demo, so had some kilometers on it, but not much, like 2,000-3,000. I think I got a decent price. It's got practicality, but fun. It's all-wheel drive, and made by BMW. Now, it is BMW technically, so I think me and BMW and Mini could brush up on the quality a bit. And they went really tech heavy on it, and some of that tech has gone so much that it's kind of impeding on the functionality, where everything is located on the center console, the round screen, which is cool, but when you're wanting to just modify the air conditioning while you're driving, you got to do it here. There's no buttons. So anyway, so had that about a year, and then what happened was my wife had a older Kia Sportage, and she had quite a few issues with this thing. And then around I would say September 2025, shortly before that, her engine exploded. And Kia just left her hanging, sorry, you're out of the warranty. And there's been a lot of issues with Kia and Hyundai engines, especially in this model, exploding. And we had to get a new engine put in, because the car, you can't do anything with a car if the engine doesn't run. The value just plummets. So I think that was about $4,000 with labor. It was like 6,500 Canadian. They gave us a little bit of a deal, but that was hard to swallow. So got that fixed, and soon after that was done, we were like, okay, we got to get rid of this. So had this perfectly running Mini Countryman JCW. My wife liked it, so we slid that over, or I slid it over to her, and then I had another excuse to go shopping for another car. So here we are. It's like the 4th car now in like 3 years. I know. Meanwhile, the Veloster I had for 9. So first one I looked at was a 2016 Porsche Cayenne Turbo, I think it was. A beautiful red at Oakville. Used, I think it had about 40,000 kilometers. No. 100,000 kilometers and about $40,000 Canadian. Test drove it. It had some rips in the panoramic mesh. The tech in the middle was quite outdated. And good thing I did this. I went and I looked up a Carfax, and it had been in an accident which wasn't disclosed. I was looking at it with a used car dealer, some no-name place in Oakville, Ontario. And yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, bye-bye. Then I looked at a Macan, and it was like a 2018. Test drove that. All I could smell was gas fumes coming in, and they're like, oh yeah, we have to get that fixed, blah, blah, blah. Didn't like that, but I liked the Macan. I liked how it was a little smaller than the Cayenne, and but still functional, had the utility. So then stumbled upon this car, and this was at Clarkson Fine Motors, or Fine Cars in Mississauga, Oakville area. And when I saw it online, it was bright blue with gold rims and red interior, and I was like, ooh, this is interesting, but it's a little out there. And asked the family what they thought, and they're like, oh yeah, that's great. So went and saw it. Met with a guy there named Addy, and he was great. And I was nervous because this was my first used car experience. I had never bought a used car before. You hear all these horror stories. And it was a lot of money. You know, the car was listed at 91,141 Canadian. And I was like, oh man, like, am I upping my risk here, buying a used car? It's expensive. I don't need these hassles. So I think before I went to go see it, I was able to look at Carfax history, and it was clean. It was owned by, I think, a woman in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Had a great clean history. The only thing replaced on it was the windshield, and it had regular servicing. Kilometers were only 36,420. And went to see it in person, and it looked great. I was shocked how good the interior looked. The outside looked really good, and everything. I was like, okay, how are these colors going to blend in person? And I loved it. You know, this is me personally. I love cars. I'm sure you do too if you're a car person. But there's so many cars: black, white, gray. It's just a sea of blah. And it's fun to have a car that you're excited about, that's different, that stands out, not for attention, but just for you personally. It's just fun. It's different. I like being different. I don't like being crazy different, but I like being different, and I like having different. And that's what this was. Buying experience was awesome. The only thing was I wasn't able to test drive the car because it was in the showroom. And it was all bunched in, and I was a little nervous about that. I was like, okay, so you want me to buy this car, but I can't test drive it. So I was like, all right, but I didn't say anything. And when I went to bring the money, or the certified check from the bank, I was like, I want to test drive this first before I hand this over. And they were like, okay. They didn't have a problem with it. So test drove it, loved it. Everything seemed good. I did all the short-term tests, hard on the brakes, quick acceleration. Everything was flawless. And I just loved the feeling of it, and handed over the check, and it was mine. So, yeah, that was my very first time buying, I guess, a luxury car, very first time buying a used car. And it was a great experience. But yeah, I got the car. The car was listed at 91. I got it for 86,500. But you know, this car, brand new. You know, Porsches. If you don't know Porsches, whether it's Macans, 911s, 718, they all come bare bones, and they have a plethora of upgrades you can get. And each upgrade can be quite expensive. This thing has, I think, every upgrade, pretty much. And I imagine the sticker price for the person who bought this a couple years ago was probably around 140 to 150, 150,000 Canadian. And they probably took a huge depreciation hit when they dumped it. Why they dumped it, I don't know. honestly, it runs great and it looks great. Yeah, what I'm getting at here is, it's a lot of money, but it's a company car, but it's a lot of money. It's the most I've ever spent on a car, but my interest is cars. I love cars. I don't really golf anymore. I've hurt my one arm. I'm still able to work out, but when I golf, it really hurts. I don't know if it's hitting the ground or what. So I don't do that. I don't do any drugs. I don't gamble. I don't drink alcohol, and I don't smoke cigarettes or weed. So I save money there, and I'm clean there. My joy is cars, and that's the way I continue, and that's the way I did or was able to justify this purchase. So yeah, I mentioned this car is fully loaded. So it's a Porsche Macan GTS, which is the top trim of the Macan. It's a ICE or a gas internal combustion engine, but no accidents, low kilometers, red interior. I've always loved red interiors, and I like this red interior. I think it's called Bordeaux, but it's got like brushed metallic trim here. You can see it. It's got Miami blue seat belts. They're a little much, but they're fun. You know what? They go with the paint, and they're an upgrade. Everything's an upgrade. The Miami blue paint, at the time, around 2022, 2023, I think that was an additional upgrade, but a small one. I think it was like $4,000. But on the 2026 Macan gas or ICE version, you can get Miami blue, but I think it's paint to sample. And I think it would cost you about 16,000 Canadian just to get this paint. So I do, and a lot of people in the Porsche community love Miami blue. So I think this definitely adds value down the road. And I love it too. As I mentioned, I was a little skeptical, or not skeptical, but uneasy about the gold wheels. But when I saw them in person, they're like a brushed gold. And I think it looks beautiful. And it also goes with the Porsche logo, and it looks really good with the Miami blue. It's got the Sport Chrono package, which gives you the stop clock there. It's got the drive mode on the wheel because of that package. You can go to Sport, which I'll do right now. Well, you can't hear it because I'm crawling along, but you can flip it to Sport, Sport Plus, and you can also press the drive mode, or drive button, or power sport button. Sorry guys, sport button. It'll give you 20 seconds of maximum acceleration. It also has launch control, and I think also by having this, I'm not sure if it's a GTS thing or because of the Sport Chrono package, it's got Sport Plus mode. So what happens in sport mode and Sport Plus mode is the suspension drops and or stiffens, and also the height lowers. And you can manually adjust this, but the modes do it automatically. And with that, it has PASM. So a lot of Porsches, you can get PASM, even I think on some of the sport cars like the 911. And it's Porsche Active Suspension Management, which lowers the height of the vehicle. And the engine in this car, 2.9 liter, 434 horsepower. So I think the base, I did test drive, actually I didn't mention this, but I did test drive the base Macan with my giant son in the back because I wanted to see just how the sizing would do. And it turned out he fit in there, but the base had only 265 horsepower, and it was pretty lackluster. But if that's not your thing, that's fine. But it definitely could use more power, where this has 434. Porsche says 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds, and they usually underestimate their numbers. But I think some people will, with the Sport Chrono package and launch control, have gotten this car 0 to 60 miles per hour, 0 to 100 kilometers in 3.5 seconds. So this thing can rip. I think like a good 911, I know there's different trims on that, but you can get a 0 to 60, 0 to 100 like 2.5, 2.9, you're not really far off. And this is a family vehicle, and you can even track this vehicle. I don't track it, but you can. So it's great. Panoramic moonroof, as you can see, provides more light for things like this, and it's nice in the winter too, because you don't have to worry about heat, and the light comes in and just brightens things up. It's got the sliding mesh, which is good if you want to dim the light. 7-speed PDK transmission. Not all Porsches have that. Some of the sport models do, and this one does. So with that, you can use the paddle shifters, which are extremely premium. They just have a great feel, a great sound. The Mini Countryman, they have these plastic paddles, and it feels very cheap. There's just little aspects of that Mini Countryman that they're just cheaped out, and it wouldn't cost much more to upgrade that. But Porsche did it right, and it's so fast when you're shifting up and down. It's great. And they're metallic, they're not plastic. And since this car was from Nova Scotia, Canada, I don't think they have to have front plates. So when I got this car, it didn't have front plates. So I did book an appointment to get those mounted on, get a front plate mount put on at the Porsche Oakville dealer. But then I did some research, and it was big and a little more expensive. And I found an alternative online by a company called Stow & Show, where you just, and I did this myself, you just climb underneath, undo a couple bolts, and then pop this on and bolt it back up, and then you can put your plate on, and there's a hinge, and you can pull the plate off and on. So if you're going through a car wash or a coffee and cars or a Porsche meet, and you want that little sportier look, you can just pull off the front plate. Just like that, and then after, just put it back on. It clicks back on. So I went with that, and I've been happy with that. That's been great. So yeah, again, I was hesitant about the color combo. I was like, is this too loud? Is it too much? But no, I love it. It stands out in a sea of just blahness, and it's fun, and it's a Porsche, so I feel that you can go a little bit louder, and yeah, I like it. So I'm just justifying that to myself again. So this car, yeah, it's a company car. So the nice thing about that is expenses are deductible. Depreciation on it is deductible, so that helps too, you know. I paid cash for the car. I don't have any interest payments or no car payments on it. That's nice. But it's the Swiss Army knife. I like to call this the Swiss Army knife of Porsches and cars. Why? Because it's sporty. It's extremely sporty. It's more of a hatchback than an SUV. Like a hatchback, kind of like a Volkswagen GTI, or you know, it's got a much more hatchback feel than a SUV. But it's got all-wheel drive, so you can drive it all season. Drive it in the winter. And it's got utility. I can fit my wife in the front. My 6'2" son fits in the back. My wife, we have to move the front seat up, but it's still comfortable. And we can fit everyone in, and you still have storage in the back. So, you know, we're going to baseball games. My son's got baseball. Got room in the back, or a little getaway. Fit some luggage back there. It's not huge like a Cayenne, much bigger, but it's functional. And for day-to-day driving, you still get that sports car fix while, you know, having utility. And the thing I like about it is it's almost a year old. I still love it. I get out of the car and I still look back at it, and I think that's a good test how you feel about your car. I love how it performs. When you want to go fast, it is, but you want to just drive like I am now in normal mode, it's smooth as butter, and the gas mileage is pretty good. Like on this drive here, 20 kilometers into the drive, and we're at 11 kilometers per 100. Not great, but not bad. Takes premium. Is there anything I'd improve on this? No. Well, yes, maybe if you're really picky and if it's your thing, the interior at night could use a little ambient lighting. But you know what? For a Porsche, that's not why you buy it. I love just the red, the brushed metal trim, leather everywhere. I got leather all the doors, the dash, here, consoles, got leather everywhere. Looks great, but like Mercedes, they do a nice ambient lighting look, and that could be kind of special. I know the new Porsche Macan electric 2026s, I've sat in them, and their console's different, and it looks a little cheaper. Not a fan. Yeah, fuel economy decent. It's an all gas car. I talked about the Jeep, how it was a hybrid, but honestly, I'd be lucky to make it my 30 kilometers to work and make it there without being out of electric charge, because you could run on 100% electric, and then that 4-cylinder engine would kick on, and it was so loud, and mileage would plummet. Yeah, this here, it's good. It's good. You know what? It's reliable. That's what I want to touch upon. The Mini, it's been pretty good, but the Jeep, not good reliability. This thing, great reliability, because this model, it's been around since 2016. They've had many years to work out the kinks, the bugs, and there were some in the early years, I think. And by 2023, it's pretty bulletproof. Bad news is this model, the ICE Macan gas version, was discontinued in 2024 in Europe. And Europe's got tougher regulations. But also here, they're discontinuing it here in North America, 2026. This is, I think, right around now. July is the last month that you can put an order in for a new Macan ICE or gas model. It's a shame, because they're going to come out with a replacement. No more Macan gas, but they're going to come out with a replacement for the gas in 2028, and apparently it's going to be a little larger. But one of the things I like about this thing is it has the utility, but it's smaller, it's more nimble, it has that hatchback feel. Is the new car, the bigger replacement, gonna have that same feel? Time will tell, but I don't know. This thing's their most popular selling model, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and they're trying to fix it. So we'll see. So my Porsche experience, amazing. I get it serviced at, I want to talk about briefly where I bought it. I bought it at Clarkson Fine Cars, Mississauga, and great experience. So I was nervous about buying used, as I mentioned, but now with the letting someone else take that depreciation hit, especially on a luxury car, it's like a no-brainer. As long as you do your due diligence and buy a Carfax online, you've got to pay a little bit, but it's well worth the investment. And you see the car, you do a test drive before purchasing, which I did at the end. I didn't hand over any money until I did the test drive. And yeah, that's the way to go. Like I said, I think this car new would have been $145,000-ish, and I got it for $86, and it only had 34,000 kilometers. So let someone else take that hit. That's the way to go. Buy used. But yeah, Porsche experience, amazing. You pull in to the dealer and they immediately greet you, and they greet you very professionally. At the previous dealers, even Mini and BMW and Jeep and Hyundai, Subaru, you just get in and it's just like, hello. It's just, there's like, I don't know, it's just nothing special. But you get to Porsche Oakville, or even Porsche, I'm sure, they greet you right away professionally, take your info, and then they're like, come see your service advisor. And it's always the same guy, Jeff Young. He's been fantastic. I develop a relationship with him, and I like that. He's very professional. And service will get you a shuttle. They send you text updates on things. They send you a video on how your servicing went. The tech gives a summary. Awesome service. So yeah, you know, you can get servicing done, I'm sure, at a German car facility for cheaper. But this one here, I don't know, I think I have a little more peace of mind knowing it's actually Porsche. And also the level of service, I think, is higher. It's just the way I feel. The servicing cost, not too bad, you know. Servicing anywhere now is expensive. But here it's maybe a little bit more expensive for oil changes and stuff, but I knew that going in. I'm fine with that. So this car still has a warranty, which expires in October 2026. They've given me prices for a extended warranty. You can buy 1 year, it's about $21.50, 2 years, $37.50, or three years, $5,200. But that includes major things like engine, fuel cooling system, powertrain, or transmission, suspension, your steering, brake system, heating, air, electrical, and body. So it covers major things. They said it won't cover things like, you know, rattles and creaks. And on an older car, I get it. That's fine. That's not why I would buy an extended warranty. I want the major stuff covered. So I think I'm going to do that. I don't know how long, if it will be a 2 or 3 year. My plan is to have this car for a good 5 years, maybe 10, take care of it. So I might go 3 years. And if I do get rid of it, having that warranty still attached to it should help the resale value of the car. When I got this car, it also had a servicing plan, which has ended, and it covers all servicing. And I can get that again, but it's about $2,000 a year. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll just pay out of pocket as that comes. But I am definitely interested in getting the extended warranty before October of 2026. So yeah, no payments, no car payments, just servicing costs, and then the warranty cost, which will come later this fall. Insurance is a little bit high. It's like $39.21 Canadian a year, but it's a more expensive car. But yeah, so that's a summary of the car. Bottom line, I love this car. Pardon me. Love it. I would buy a used car again. I would buy a Porsche again. I love the functionality. I love the utility. I love the sportiness. I love the way it looks. I love going to the Porsche dealer and the way they treat me, and also looking at all the eye candy there. Awesome. So I thought I would open up the car pillar of my YouTube channel, Legacy and Drive, with my car and how we got to this point. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to comment if you have any questions, or if you want to talk about any of your cars or car experiences. Feel free to subscribe. As I said, I'm going to be focusing on cars, building wealth, and also fitness. And I'd love it if you join the journey. Have a great day, guys.